Well, Nick, 2015, Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
Thank you. What's Nick Hein's New Year's resolution?
Well, first of all, I tried to get as many fights as possible this year. I changed my training camp, so I'm really, there's going to be like presentation for the new events in Europe this week, and I would like to be on every one of them. So at least 3 fights, maybe 4, and of course I don't want to lose.
Are you a bit jealous that you're not able to compete on Saturday night with so many fans expected in the arena?
Yes, I am. I just saw like how huge it is in Stockholm. There's like banners everywhere, like showing that the fight is going to happen, and the people are so excited. And even on the street, we were just buying some clothes. And they were, "Oh, you're fighters? Yeah. Who are you picking? Gustafsson or Johnson?" And we are like, "Yeah." Of course, during when there's Swedish people around, we always choose Gustafsson, just to make sure, we don't want to get into any trouble. And yeah, it's really, really cool. I'm jealous. I would like to fight on this card.
Well, you got to do something very fun though for your UFC debut. You got to debut in Germany, in Berlin, at which was also a very huge show.
Yes.
Looking back at that, do you think that that debut could have been any sweeter?
No. Because when I came back from this fight, and I was sitting in my car, and when you sit in the car and you listen to the music and like, winner takes it all, dedicates the fall, time to make it all over the top. You're like in your own movie, and for me it was really like I was like really. Did this really happen, or did I just dream it? And I always have that, like when something huge happens, I'm afraid to, like I wake up, I remember when I drove home, I really needed some time to realize what happened, and looking back, it was just perfect. Yes, it was. And yeah, I don't know if you know that, but my opponent at Drew Dober, he was at my after show party, and he's now together with my sister. And listen, and it's getting even more crazy. It's crazy, getting crazier. He came on Christmas. He came from the States, and we were celebrating Christmas together. And we had this funny picture when it was funny in the fight. We were like standing really toe to toe and hitting each other. And this picture we redid it, with presents, giving like presents. So and right now he's preparing for his next fight, and try to support him a little. So it's really like a fairy tale story kind of.
So you're happy about it?
Pardon?
You're happy about it?
Yeah. I'm happy. He's a good guy. He's a fun guy also, and I think he's a good choice. My sister made a good choice. Yes.
Well, since your fight falling out, unfortunately, didn't really go your way. But we've seen from a lot of fighters, for example, Alexander Gustafsson, that your first loss in the UFC can be a very beneficial thing because it can teach you so much about the level of competition, but also about yourself as a fighter.
Yes.
Do you agree with that? And what have you learned?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I changed a lot of things since then, really, because it's not only because of the fight. It's also we're now here, like in the fight week, see how huge everything is. You want to keep up, you want to be part of this. You don't want to, when you lose, it's always like it reminds you, nothing is like for granted. You have to work for that. And I was working for the win in Texas too. Didn't really work out like I planned it, but I changed a lot, and I am going to show in the next fight.
Europe's got quite a few superstars now in the UFC that really transcended into the mainstream. We've got Gustafsson and also Conor McGregor, and obviously McGregor had a big win last weekend. What did you make of the comparisons of him, being called the Irish Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, he has the same kind of technique with the mouth. He's really good in talking. That's my cameraman. He was on the toilet all the time. So. Actually, I think there's you can compare both of them because he's light on his feet. He does predictions. He predicts the round. This time he was wrong, but nevertheless he had really no problem. I think he's good for the sports. He's a loudmouth, but he's really good for the sports. And till now, he proved that everything he said is right. But next fight, Aldo.
What do you think about that fight? What's the prediction for that fight?
The thing is, you know, right now the hype train is really with Conor, you know. But did you see when Conor jumped over the fence and was facing Aldo? Did you see his laugh, Aldo's laugh? He was scary. He wasn't playing. He was like, this is really funny, you know. I'm enjoying my time. Funny Irishman, you know. It's like, you know, he didn't really even blink. I don't know. It's I think he's the champ for a reason. So I don't dare any predictions, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be one hell of a fight.
Yeah. And for you as a fighter, obviously coming off that loss in Texas, you know, how much can you take from that? Have you know, learned a lot of things? Sometimes, obviously, people say, you know, a loss is more beneficial than a win at times.
Yeah. So first of all, you know, there's losses and losses. You know, for me, it didn't really feel like I lost this fight. You know, I mean, at the end, you know, it's what stands on the paper, what counts. But I didn't really feel like I lost this one. But nevertheless, you know. And there's one saying, you know, everyone knows it, you know, you sometimes even get bored of it, you know, never leave it to the judges. And I think I really need to work on finishing opponents. I knocked him down twice in the first round and I didn't finish it. So I have to work on this transmission and yeah, when I have my first knockout in the UFC and I really, you know, we changed also the camp due to this aim. Yeah. Got the sentence.
So did you reconsider maybe quitting other distractions and focusing mostly only on MMA?
I mean, distractions. In my preparation, yeah, I know. No. I think like in every preparation, I'm really focused. You know, I really blend out any distractions, but maybe it's not enough. I really think of changing the place and trying like a new start. I'm really excited because directly, although I haven't got any fight announced yet, I'm already like starting my camp directly after Stockholm. So I'm really excited. I'm sitting on packed bags and getting ready for the fight preparation.
Can you tell us when you'd be ready to fight? If you can't tell us what fight.
Yeah, I think in April I would be ready.
In Poland, 11?
Oh, is that the event in Poland? Is it? Yeah, that would kind of fit, right?
Yeah.
It would be good, yeah.
John Blachowicz is also invited here as a guest.
Yes, yeah. I think it's coincidence, you know. It's I don't know.
I believe so.
He's a really good guy. He did some awesome mashed potatoes today in the cooking class. He did. He was off the hook. So
it's our specialty, potatoes.
Potatoes?
Yeah.
It was the only meal that wasn't like failed. Like
he said he can only cook water only.
Yeah, but he did the
potatoes.
The potatoes were awesome. I didn't try his water yet, but.
Nick, since you last competed, there's a lot of big announcements made in the UFC, one of which is the signing of ex-WWE wrestler CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's going to be making his debut later on this year. What's your thoughts on, first of all, the signing and also the prospect of having someone come into the UFC, the highest level of MMA, without any pro MMA experience and competing here?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Like this medal has two sides, you know. On the one hand, you know, getting more attention to the UFC might be good, and I think this is what people think or thought when they signed him. But on the other hand, you know, I think it was Nate Diaz who made this comparison, and I think it perfectly fits. You know, you can't just go to the NBA and say, "Hey, let me play." You know, I mean, they will say, "Come on, I'm 170, you know, centimeters. You know, they say you can't even balance the ball. Get out of here." And this is the problem, you know. I mean, who's he going to fight, you know? And at the end, you know, I mean, I don't want to. At the end, you know, we have a second Brock Lesnar, and everyone is going to point at me and say, "Yeah, see what you said." So, I think.
But the thing about Brock, though, Brock had a background coming in. CM Punk,
yeah, that's true.
I think he's a white belt in jiu-jitsu. Brock, you know, was a NCAA wrestler. So
why are you saying that now? I mean, you make me look stupid, you know?
So would you consider this more as a freak fight or just MMA fight once he debuted?
I never saw him. I never saw him train. I never saw him do like a real fight. So I think he doesn't have an NCAA. Is it NCAA?
Yeah, American.
In the wrestling background. So
You train MMA 24/7, right?
Yes, I do.
He has just now started to train MMA 24/7.
Okay. Let's bring it to the point. You know, I think it could be a freak show, and what should I say? I'm more excited about other fights actually.
He's picked Rufus Sport. What do you think about that as a choice for him?
I don't know too much about this, you know. So I think Pettis is also training with him. Yeah, I read that, and some. it's like all the questions you say. I'm like, I don't really have an opinion on this one because, you know, for me there's really important stuff for me. You know what I mean? And we are going to see his debut. You know how he's going to come out. So. Let's see.
Sticking on the theme of professional wrestling just for a second here, Brock Lesnar's contract with the WWE will be up at the end of March, and there's a lot of rumor and speculation about him potentially coming back to the UFC. So
he's going to be back.
Would you like to see? Would you like to see him back in the UFC?
Yes, of course. You know, he's entertaining. He's just a beast. You know, and it would be nice to see him back. You know, so This is really something I'm waiting for. So and I think you know, comebacks can really be really impressive. You know, he has had his time off, and I'm really waiting for this one.
And Nick, speak about obviously the German MMA scene since the last show in Berlin. Has anything kicked on? Obviously, we've seen there's been a TV deal signed with the UFC. They're going to be back this year. Yeah. Was there any knock-on effect from that show in Berlin, and how's the the grassroots level of mixed martial arts in Germany?
Well, first of all, it's so you heard that the television ban is over. So I think we are really right now in the it has already been since last year. Many things changed. The thing is, this is a process that's going to take time. Of course, we have some fighters with good potential. We really have them, but up to now, we still have to go to professional camps, which are, for the time being, not in Germany right now. So everyone is like trying to go where it's best for him. So. But I think this is a process that is really going to how you say that, bring out the fruits, in the near future. Was it gross what I said?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, maybe I was like.
Which camp?
I've heard it actually was in the some kind of a law saying the MMA was banned in Germany, more like an agreement. Is it correct?
Yeah, it was like there's like in Bavaria there's like this media center, and they banned it, and then the UFC went to court with that, and they found out that this decision is illegal itself. So they had to take it back immediately, and now the contract signing is in the making. So we don't really know yet, like which channel, for example, it's going to be. But there's some rumors, and there's some really interesting rumors, and I think because people. I tell you how it is, they're starting to get fed up with the martial arts shown on TV right now, which boxing, for example, and stuff. And UFC is so interesting, It's so even for the people that have no idea what they are seeing right now, they're really getting into it. And you see that when you are here in Stockholm, UFC is everywhere. And people are really even. I was talking to an old lady, she was like, yeah. I don't know which fighters, but it's interesting sport, And she was really, it was fun because, she could be my grandma, My grandma doesn't know nothing about or ever knew something about the UFC. So, yeah, they're putting a lot of effort in it, and you're going to see that in Germany as well soon.
Do you find, obviously being a police officer as well, have you come under any sort of public scrutiny or, bad press or, being slated for being a mixed martial artist?
I like that, I like when people confront me with this because, I come, and this is just a picture, I come with my gun loaded, it's like I have the arguments, I have I know the facts. And usually, the critics on the sport is like made up fantasy, or like really, they didn't do their homework. Yeah. And it's so fun to make them run against the wall, you're like, oh yeah, that's really what you think of. Yeah, it's a bad sport, it doesn't have any rules, yeah. It's totally, you should beep it out now. bullshit. You know, they don't, and that is right now. It's kind of fun because getting rid of all these old-fashioned thoughts. So yeah, it's I like that job. I really love it, and I think till now I could, at least in the interviews I had, I could maybe change a little bit, like bring something to the progress. Yeah.
Nick, are there any athletes that you look up to for motivation or inspiration outside of the sport of MMA, from different sports?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you always. I mean, of course, there's like a very easy comparison to the boxing again, like Mike Tyson. You know, he's awesome. I tell you a secret. You know, don't tell anyone else. Like every fight week, I watch the documentation of Tyson when he was younger. You know, when he was so nervous before the fighting, and you see this beast. You know, being like sad and something, and you get the feeling like you know, he's human too. And then you see how he destroys everyone. And of course, Tyson is like one of my absolute favorites. Yeah.
Tim Leidecker sent me a short document about you, and it said something about TV series you are involved in, or you were involved in. Can you tell something more about it?
Yes, it's a comedy show, and we play like, in this comedy show we play like undertakers, 3 undertakers. We don't know nothing about the job. It's called Diese Kaminskis, and it aired last year in October, November. And it was a huge success, you know. The ratings were really good, and we are even nominated for some movie prizes. And there's going to be a second season. We don't know when it's yet. And I mean, till now, you know, there's some really exciting projects in the UFC, like coming up now, like the European events. So I really am going to focus on this one. But yeah, wouldn't mind later when I have time, like to join in again. Yes, it's really fun. You should see it. You know, we have some
German.
We have subtitles. You know, yeah, it's a good promotion. You know.
Any other?
I'm going to send you one.
Thank you. Any other projects like this you would like to get involved? Maybe.
Only right now training and fighting, because you know I'm really getting jealous. You know, you saw the huge banners outside and everyone is taking pictures with the banners. I want someday, you know, have a big banner with my face on it, you know, with the ears.
Can put a sticker on it.
Yes, I already did. I painted my face on it.
Was here. Yeah.
Yes, I was here. Nick Hein.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No.
Yeah.
I will. I will look for it.
I show you directly afterwards.
Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, cheers, Nick.